And hello, everyone, and welcome into the Grossinger Motors Arena here in Bloomington, Illinois, for the second half of our doubleheader for the NIHL Game of the Week. Hello, everyone. This is Eric Willowhite. Thank you for joining us on the NIHL Game of the Week, powered by Stream Sports Midwest here on the NIHL TV network. This afternoon's game, the Central Illinois Revolution will be playing their second game of the day, as they'll be hosting the North Shore Warhawks here in a 10U girls matchup. The Revolution played earlier this morning, 10:50 a.m. start against the Sabres. They lost that game 11-0, so they're coming off a tough loss here earlier, but they are ready to go for game 2 today, as a couple Chicago area teams made the trip down to Bloomington to take on the host Revolution. Let's talk about where these teams are at. The Warhawks coming in, 7 games played, 3-3-1, good for 7 points. Third place so far in the girls 10U upper division. 21 goals for, 24 against for a -3. The Revolution sit in 7th place. 10 games played, they are 0-9-1, good for 1 point. They had a tie. 6 goals scored on the season, so tough year offensively, and 56 goals against, so that's a -50. But none of that matters here, as both these teams get an opportunity to play arena hockey, which that's pretty cool. So when the Warhawks came out to their bench and saw the arena, you could hear it in their voices how excited they are to play here. And I don't know how often the Revolution play on the big ice here. The morning game was right in the Bloomington Ice Center, so that was like a regular hockey rink. They played there this morning, but this afternoon they're playing here in the big arena. The Northern Illinois Hockey League is the largest youth hockey league in Illinois. It is made up of over 50 travel hockey organizations. Almost all of the clubs are from Illinois, with a few from Indiana, Iowa, Missouri, Michigan, and Wisconsin. This is the 54th season of play in the Northern Illinois Hockey League. The NIHL member organizations field Tier 2 travel teams that compete in the squirt, peewee, bantam, and midget age groups defined by USA Hockey. The league also offers all girls hockey divisions each season. NIHL will partner with the Chicago Blackhawks to hold the league's NIHL Blackhawks tournament at the conclusion of this season. For more information about NIHL and its programs, please contact Bob Apter, NIHL president, or visit the website at nihl.info. And Blackhawks are proud to sponsor, the Chicago Blackhawks are proud to sponsor the Northern Illinois Hockey League. Hawk fans, be sure to catch these upcoming games. The Hawks will be hosting the New Jersey Devils tonight at the United Center. 6 p.m. puck drop on NBC Sports Chicago. Thursday, they'll be out in Tampa to take on the Lightning. Another 6 p.m. puck drop, also on NBC Sports Chicago. And then Sunday, they'll be in, I think that's Sunrise, Florida, or Surprise, Florida. I can't remember which. No, it's Sunrise, Florida. Take on the Florida Panthers on Sunday, November 12th. That is a noon start, also on NBC Sports Chicago. Don't miss the Chicago Blackhawks in action. We're getting ready here for the puck drop. 1 goalie each on each roster for the Warhawks, the North Shore Warhawks. It'll be Isabella Joyce tending the net. As you see, they're in their green road jerseys with blue trim. And then to our right, that will be Blake Tomaszewicz minding the net for the host Revolution. Not a large contingent of players on the Warhawks roster today, although there was one player who was a late add. We got the notice that is Elise Weinstock, number 37. So she is down here in Bloomington today to help support the team. The same case with the Sabres. They had a very small roster. I think in their case, though, they might have stayed overnight. So maybe the full contingent didn't make its way down due to cost, hotel stay, all that. But they were able to play at least a decent number of players, just enough that they needed, and they still came away with an 11-0 victory over the Revolution. All right, both teams huddling up by their benches. Well, the referees, they're telling them to take the marsh pegs off. I think it might just be a safety thing. They're just going to slide them over the vacated hole there. So I guess they don't use the marsh pegs for a 10U game. So again, welcome in to the Grossinger Motors Arena here in Bloomington, Illinois, as we get ready for the North Shore Warhawks taking on the Central Illinois Revolution NIHL Girls 10U matchup right here on the NIHL TV network, powered by Stream Sports Midwest. NIHL Game of the Week, Game 2 coming your way. On the draw, it'll be Clark going against Reva Taylor. And that puck is won, possession won by the Revolution. They try and flip it up off the far boards, and they'll try to move it out. That's Kylie McKay. McKay being harassed along those far boards, but still trying to push that puck inside the zone, and then hands it off over to Viola Krieger, but she has the puck taken away. And then it's thrown inside the Revolution zone. First player to get there will be Madeline O'Grady. Tries to throw it up the far boards. She does. Weinstock throws it back in for the Warhawks. But then the Revolution are able to get that puck outside the zone. Lead pass. O'Grady in ahead of the play, however. Well, a couple players in ahead of the play of the puck. And that'll be an offsides call. We'll have a face-off just outside the Warhawks zone along the near boards. Taking the draw will be Molly Hart. And I believe that's Elodie Butler. Took the draw, and the Warhawks won that draw. Behind her own net is Madeline Podemski. And then circling around was Weinstock. And the player falls down along the near boards there. That was... It might have been Chloe Sullivan. She's back on her feet, however. Going after the puck herself there. And a whistle and another offsides is the call. 10:36 to go here in the first period. There are 12-minute periods here in girls 10U. We'll have face-off along the far boards. And that draw now claimed by the Warhawks. Play between the circles currently. Then carrying the puck, trying to get it outside the zone there is Bradley Rayfield, and eventually able to do that. Backhander towards the circle was knocked back over to the far boards. And now here come the Revolution inside the zone. Puck behind the net. Centering attempt. That's Rayfield trying to backhand it towards the net, and it never gets on. Goaltender Isabella Joyce. Now the puck goes behind the net, and that's Madeline Podemski throwing it off the near boards. It's going to be kept in, however, by Dabbs. Nice job keeping it in. Jovi Dabbs at the near point. Now over to the far point, and that will be Josephine Hammer. I mentioned in the first game, she's on our all-name team for hockey names. Anytime you have a last name Hammer in hockey, that'll take you far in the all-name team. And this is the mythical name team that Aaron and I come up with. So we'll jot her down. Warhawks, Weinstock trying to get it outside the zone. Then it's thrown over to the near boards. 9:12 to go here in the first, no score. Warhawks having trouble getting outside their own defensive zone. Now it looks like they'll finally have an opportunity, and they will. Play along the near boards. Thrown back in by Rayfield. Then it's immediately thrown back out by Podemski. And now we got a break. Coming in on the play, Taylor Taylor's shot goes wide. Thrown up high. That's kept in. Backhand shovel attempt there by Grace Davis. That puck never got on Blake Tomaszewicz. And the clearing attempt along the far boards did not get out. Now it's thrown over to the near corner. Now it's the Warhawks get a shot. That puck came right on the stick of Molly Brueggemann, and she put it between the pads of Tomaszewicz. 1-0 Warhawks with 8:21 to go here in the first period. So there's our first goal after the Revolution had most of the possession time here in the early going of the first period. Then the first time the Warhawks had extensive zone time inside Revolution territory, they were able to get the game's opening goal. Again, Brueggemann, right place, right time. That puck came between the circles. She was all alone in front of Blake Tomaszewicz and put it between the pads. Here's play along the near board. That puck is dumped down by Morgan Nave. I think I still have soccer play-by-play in my jargon right now. I'll have to adjust. Interrupted there at center ice was Viola Krieger. And then inside their own zone, Weinstock backhands it over to the near boards, but that's picked off. That was Krieger doing a nice job throwing it between the circles. Then it's looked to be backhanded outside the zone. Oh, and it's carried outside the zone. Not sure Kylie McKay knew she had players inside the attack zone, but she took it out anyways, and now play goes to our right. Here's Hammer. Hammer eludes one defender, has the puck picked away by Weinstock. Here's Elise Weinstock coming in all alone, shoots, scores! Elise Weinstock, a late add to the roster. We got an email about an hour before the game or so, and she comes down to Bloomington and gets a goal. The Warhawks are up 2-0. So 2-0 Warhawks with 6:43 remaining here in the first period. On the near boards. And that one is going to come out. Weinstock will collect it. Pass attempt was deflected, but it goes inside the Revolution zone. Unable to clear was Dabbs, but then the second attempt, she was able to backhand it outside. And now skating after it in the far corner is Madeline O'Grady. O'Grady tries to clear. Weinstock keeps it in once more. Thrown towards the net. Oh, that slips between the pads of Tomaszewicz. I don't think Tomaszewicz was ready for it. And I think that was Reva Taylor who directed that puck past Tomaszewicz. And now we got a 3-0 lead. Clearing attempt, not out. And then it's taken outside the zone. That is Piper Kent carrying the mail. Kent still has it. And then it's deflected off the stick at the last minute. I want to say, I think that was Shoemaker. Greta Shoemaker got it off the stick of Piper Kent. And then thrown between the circles by Shoemaker. And then taken away. Here's Dabbs. Oh, Dabbs. I think that's the second time Dabbs went in before the puck. Tried to look over, but then the puck kind of slipped behind her. And she was in ahead of the playoff sides. We'll have a draw just outside the Warhawks territory along the near boards. It'll be Clark. And so I think that's Reva Taylor again. It is. And now carried inside the zone. Weinstock loses it. It was knocked off the stick by Clark. Thrown over to the far boards. Hammer coming to keep it in at that far point. She does. And then throws it towards the net. Deflected by Clark. And then comes over to the far point. That one was thrown in offsides. It just escaped over the blue line before Piper Jackson was able to throw it back inside the zone. So what are the odds you have two Pipers on one team? Piper Jackson, number 30, number 42, and then Piper Kent, number 13. Both for the Revolution. Oh, good stick handling there. Oh, Taylor, I believe. Oh, Taylor going for it. Pass attempt. Oh, deflected towards the net, but then it's thrown outside the zone. Good defensive play, good clear. I think that was O'Grady on the clear, or Clark, Everett Clark, on the clear for the Revolution. So that puck did not get on Tomaszewicz. Here come the Warhawks going the other way. That's Sydney Patel. Patel carrying the mail. Eludes one defender, but then takes it wide. Has the puck knocked off the stick to the far corner. And then here comes Josephine Hammer. Hammer tried to dump it in. This time she'll carry it in over the line. Had the puck knocked off her stick. Warhawks look to clear, and they will. Now looking to go the other way out of the Warhawks. That's Nora Shannon. And then the puck sent down to Weinstock. That's going to be intercepted, however, by Kylie McKay, dumped inside the zone. And going to play that one now is Shoemaker. No, check that. That was Podemski, 98, not 92. And Podemski going to travel after that puck, but not going to get there first as Viola Krieger throw it over to the far boards. Thrown towards the net, and Podemski gets there before Krieger. Now Krieger and Podemski battling behind the net. Support coming from Patel, who backhands it forward. Chasing after it now will be Madeline O'Grady. Gets it back up to the neutral zone inside Warhawks territory. We're down to 2:57 remaining here in the first. This is a 3-0 lead for the Warhawks. Weinstock gets over the blue line, but then the puck slipped off the stick. And O'Grady will throw it over to the far boards outside the zone. Podemski had it, lost it. And now it's going to be carried back over by Brueggemann, who got the game's opening goal. And then carried back over. A couple players fall down there. Thrown on net. Tomaszewicz will fall on it. And for the face-off. 2:18 to go here in the first period. Warhawks Revolution. Warhawks with that 3-0 lead. Face-off to the right of Blake Tomaszewicz. It'll be 35. That's Elodie Butler. And it's 13 Piper Kent on the draw. Revolution win possession. Trying to clear it outside the zone, unable to, kept in. And now actually that's 77 there. That is Grace Davis. Revolution gained possession of the puck, however. Bradley Rayfield takes a tumble. Thrown over to the far point. That's going to be kept in, however, by O'Grady. Madeline O'Grady throws it towards the net. No white jerseys there. But then the puck is kept inside the zone by Piper Kent. And now Dabbs. Dabbs flips it towards the net and does not get on net. Good stick there by Grace Davis to thwart that offensive attempt. And rung around to the near boards where Shoemaker will try and carry it forward. Kept inside the zone by the Revolution. This is kind of how the opening minute or two of the first period went. The Revolution had most of the zone time, but then the Warhawks trying to gain their footing, if you will, and they have a 3-0 lead now. Carry towards the net. Couple stuff attempts. Does not get in. Warhawks still trying to clear. Dabbs keeps it in again. Good job by 44. And then on net, unable to stop it or hold on to it was Isabella Joyce. Dabbs now skates in top of the near circle. Still skating. Now he's going to have to go wide with it. Flips it towards the net, but it was deflected. Dabbs gets after it, however. Backhands it, but then only a green jersey there. That was Shoemaker. Now Shoemaker going forward along those far boards. Tried to bank it off the dasher, but it was thrown back down by Piper Kent. Now it's finally going to get outside the zone. Let's see if the Warhawks can do something with it. That's Grace Davis. Davis going after it behind the net. And Piper Kent gets there first, throws it over to the far boards. Ren Butler will pick it up and throws it out to center ice where Grace Davis backhands it to teammate. 92 Shoemaker, and that's the end of the first period with the score. The Warhawks 3 and the Revolution 0. Once again, Blackhawks are proud to sponsor the Northern Illinois Hockey League. Hawk fans, be sure to catch these upcoming games. Sunday, November 5th, the Hawks are hosting, that's tonight, they'll host New Jersey, the Devils at 6 p.m. at the United Center. That game is on NBC Sports Chicago. The Chicago Blackhawks want to remind you that the Blackhawks Rivalry Series kicks off this month with games featuring New Trier Girls Varsity versus Loyola Academy Girls Varsity on November 12th. Wheaton Varsity versus Glenbard Varsity on November 18th, and Glenbrook South Varsity versus Glenbrook North Varsity on November 2nd. For details, head to NHL.com/Blackhawks/amateur/high school rivalry series. I need a few more forward slashes there. All right, let's update the period here. As we move into the second period, Warhawks holding that 3-0 lead. The Revolution, however, did have some offensive zone time to close out that first period, so that's a good sign for Central Illinois to see if they can regain some of that momentum they had to start the period. Final score in football, the Bears fall to the Saints in New Orleans 24-17. So Bears moved to 2-7, I guess, as you want to call it. That's quite the move. All right, Revolution had a good spirited huddle there. They're ready for second period action. Warhawks getting their rally over there in front of the visitor bench, and they're ready to go as well. Center ice faceoff. It'll be Clark taking the draw for the Revolution. Revolution now going left to right in their home white with blue trim. And again, the Warhawks in their their road greens with blue pants. Good look. Here's the draw. Revolution dump it inside Warhawks territory. Chasing after it will be Ren Butler. No, that was 45. My mistake. So 45 is Kylie McKay. The 4 was a little narrow, so I thought it was Butler, but it wasn't. And now here comes the Warhawks going the other way. That's Sydney Patel. Patel shoots. Save made. Initial save made by Tomaszewicz, but then the rebound was poked in. And I believe that was Taylor. Reva Taylor gets the rebound goal. And the Warhawks now move up by the score of 4-0. Back to the draw we go. Once again, Clark against 35, Lloydie Butler. Or Lodi. Revolution get it inside the zone. Then it escapes. And we're going to get a breakaway here to Lloydie Butler. Lloydie Butler shoots, save, made Tomaszewicz. Nice save on the breakaway from Butler. Now the puck goes into the near corner. Skating after that will be Piper Jackson. But it's dumped back down low by the Warhawks. And then sent out to center ice where Podemski will pick up the puck. And that puck comes in off sides as in ahead of the play was Layla Walton. And they're going to call it intentional offsides. So you're going to bring it. Actually, if it was intentional, I think they would bring it all the way down to the other zone. But this one will be at center ice. And it is Reva Taylor going against Molly Hart. Revolution get possession, but then the Warhawks will keep it in at the near point. And then another offsides. That time Grace Davis pushed it inside the zone, but the Warhawks had not cleared. Whoop, little collision there between the referee and Molly Hart. Coach just gave the ref a penalty for interference. Here's Grace Davis. Skates it around, throws it to the center circle. Going after that puck there is Piper Jackson. I have to get a look at the name of the back of that jersey for 42. It didn't look like Jackson. I thought I saw an H, but I'll see. Swept over to the near side. And a pass to herself. That was Brujamin. All right, now 42 skating to the bench. And try and see. No, that is Jackson. So it is Piper Jackson. I thought I saw an H on the back of that jersey, so I wasn't sure. But 42 in white is Piper Jackson. My apologies. Lloydie Butler appears to be probably one of the taller players on the ice between both teams. Weinstock behind her own net. Throws it over to the far boards. And waiting there to pick up the puck is Grace Davis. Davis now stick handles around a defender. Is going to carry it over the blue line along the far side. Davis, backhanded pass. Oh, right to the stick of Butler. And then it's eventually put in by Davis. Just passed it to Butler. Butler couldn't get a stick on it. It found its way back over to the far post. And Grace Davis was able to tuck it in the net. Now we have a 5-0 lead for the Warhawks. Face off back at center ice. Kent wins that draw. And then that puck's thrown up ice by Dabbs. However, Patel is able to pull the puck off the far boards and bring it inside Revolution territory. Losing it was Piper Kent. Little miscommunication there. We're going to get a penalty, possibly, or a whistle at least. And the Warhawks had too many players on the ice at one time, and I guess the referee is going to call it. And so we're going to see who's going to serve that penalty. And it will be Grace Davis heading to the box for the Warhawks. A power play for the Revolution. Yeah, you could hear the bench yelling for Grace to come off. And then she went towards the bench, and then the other player was on the ice. And then she circled back out, and by that time the ref was aware. Big cavernous arena here. It's not a huge throng of spectators, so referees could hear everything going on at ice level. In a smaller rink, some of that noise probably might have shielded the referee from hearing what was going on. Hammer throws it down low. Then it goes over to the far corner. It's going to be kept inside the zone, however, by Ren Butler. And then Dabbs throws it to the circle. There's Piper Kent, had it. Deflected. And it hops over the stick of Butler. Thrown back between the circles where Weinstock gets it. Tries to clear, not out. Back to Piper Kent behind the net. Backhanded centering attempt that eludes two white jerseys. Hammer flips it towards the net, but that's wide left. Piper Kent once more trying to track it down. Then circles the other way. Kent comes off the boards. And then it's poked away by Elise Weinstock. Weinstock has it knocked off her stick. And then she'll change directions. Greta Shoemaker will pick up the loose change now. And then carry it over the blue line. Over center ice. Colliding there with Piper Kent. Falls down, but back on her skates. And dug out there by Elodie Butler. And then Weinstock gets it. Weinstock carries it over along the far boards. Here's Elise Weinstock down far corner. Centering, backhand centering attempt ricochets off the side of the net. Shoemaker is there to pick up the puck. And now back over to Elodie Butler. Between the circles, Grace Davis out of the penalty box. Gets a hold of that puck. Throws it behind the net. So unable to get any offense generated were the Revolution on that power play attempt. So now we're back at even strength. Inside the zone. That puck is rung around there. I thought that was a 36. I don't have a 36. No, that was Butler, Elodie Butler. And then all the way down, no icing. And that's picked up by Josephine Hammer. Hammer cuts to the inside, flips it off the far boards. And the puck is going to be picked up there by Kylie McKay. Two green jerseys surrounded behind the net. And then a flip attempt by Dabbs to the circle. Backhander, just wide of the near post. Flipped off the boards and out. And dumped back in. Here's Podemski. Podemski throws it over to the far boards. And kept in once more by the Revolution. So good offensive zone time here by the host team. Let's see if they're able to get something of it. Dabbs! Oh, no. That was Clark. Had a shot on net there. A good attempt, but unable to put it past. And that one goes in. We got a goal for the Revolution. Big roar from the crowd as Kylie McKay gets the Revolution on the board, 5-1. Good persistence there by the Revolution, and they were finally rewarded with the goal. 5-1 is our score. Kylie McKay puts it in the net. That's the first goal on the day for the Revolution after being shut out in the opening game this morning. 11-0, trailing 5-0. Now they get one in to make it a 5-1 game. Let's see if they can build on that. Like I said, they've had stretches where they've had possession time inside the Warhawks zone. But the Warhawks, when they've had their opportunities, they've been able to cash in, obviously reflecting in the 5-1 lead. But a good sign for the Revolution, getting a goal, and maybe they can keep some of that momentum going here in the second period. 5:06 remaining. 5-1 is the score, Warhawks. Here is Bruggeman. Bruggeman battling the puck there with Josephine Power. And then Power will take it around over by the near boards, trying to get it out. It's kept in. Taylor, Reva Taylor, over to Brueggemann. Brueggemann tried to get it on net, but getting in front of that one defensively with the shot block was Piper Jackson. Good job by Jackson. And now here's Hammer. I don't keep calling her Power. Josephine Hammer with the breakaway, being checked from behind, throws it on net. Puck is loose, rebound, unable to get there. But then Hammer was brought down. Nope, doesn't look like there's a call because the net came off, well, not on the moorings because, again, I told you the referees took the moorings off just before the start of the game for safety reasons, and that's a good reason why. You don't want those marsh pegs in there. Then you have players slam into that at 10U age. That's not a very forgiving net. 4:17 to go in the second, 5-1 Warhawks, but the Revolution coming on here as of late. It'll be Piper Kent on the draw against Elodie Butler. Kent wins the draw, tries to throw it on net, but Weinstock was able to get a stick on it and throw it towards the Revolution zone. Then they carry it in. I think that's Shoemaker. And we got a couple players collide, Hammer and Shoemaker. Then Hammer throws it outside the zone where Podemski has to get it. Podemski trying to get it to Weinstock. Backhand attempt to get it outside the zone was kept in by Weinstock. Then a centering attempt by Elodie Butler goes awry. That's thrown outside the zone where Podemski will have to track it down for the Warhawks once more. Inside her own zone. And that's brought forward. Good stick handling there by Sydney Patel. Patel over the blue line. We got a delayed penalty, it looks like. Patel, stick handling, save made by Blake Tomaszewicz. And we got a delayed call on the Revolution. It's coming over. No hand signal there. I'm not in favor of that. I'm right in front of you. You can give me the hand signal, but don't know what the penalty is, but it is on Lena Swiatek, who will take a seat. Power play for the Warhawks. 5-1 the score, 3:20 to go here in the second period. Face off to the left of Blake Tomaszewicz. Puck flipped up over by the far boards, kept in. And then thrown off the near boards, and that one's going to come outside the zone. Podemski will look to track it down for the Warhawks. Podemski and Shoemaker. Out there. You have Patel along with Butler. And then you also have Grace Davis for the Warhawks. On the penalty kill for the Revolution is O'Grady, Clark. Shot, Dabbs got in front of that one. And then Viola Krieger. Here's Dabbs carrying the mail all the way through between the circles. Dabbs shoots. And a good save made. A shorthanded opportunity there for the Revolution. And Isabella Joyce, who hasn't had a whole lot of action, is able to stop that one and not allow a rebound. What an individual effort there, however, by Jovi Dabbs, coming all the way down that right board, then cut inside and got a shot off, forcing Joyce to make a save and hold on for the rebound. We're going to have a defensive zone draw on the Warhawks power play. So good job by the Revolution there with 2:11 to go here in the second. Puck knocked out to center ice. And carried back in by Josephine Hammer. Hammer's shot goes between the legs of Weinstock and goes wide of the near post. Dug out, however, between the circles. And green jerseys are able to get on that one, however. Penalty is over. Both teams at full strength as Piper Jackson comes out. Now here come the Revolution. Here's Hammer. Hammer flips it on that. That one hops in and scores! Josephine Hammer put the puck on net. Good things could happen. Aaron and I always say, along with a lot of hockey announcers, and that's exactly what happened. It took a one-hopper over Joyce and into the net. We have a 5-2 game. Late period goal for the Revolution cuts their deficit to 3. So back-to-back goals for the Revolution. And now they only trail by 3 with 1:31 remaining in the second period. So you can see a good penalty kill by the Revolution, and that leads to an offensive opportunity. And Hammer is able to carry that puck over the blue line, and then just above the near circle, fired it on net, and it did a one-hopper over Isabella Joyce and into the net. We have a 5-2 ball game. Faceoff will be to the left of Joyce in the Warhawks zone. There's 1:19 left on the clock here in period number 2. That puck went between the legs of the official, and then eventually it was dug out by Molly Hart. Oh, on net again, and able to make the save was Joyce. A little tense moment there for the Warhawks, but Joyce was able to calm things down. Now the faceoff will be to her right. Slow-moving final 2 minutes of the second period. We're down to minute 6. Getting a whistle palooza here. Now the players getting lined up. They're trying to understand where they're supposed to go. Now everyone's Revolution trying to figure out who's supposed to be where. And eventually the Warhawks are able to get the puck outside the zone. It's Patel. Patel trying to center it to Shoemaker. Weinstock picks it up, but players were clearly offside, so that will be a face-off back at center ice again. 51.3 seconds. Yeah, I think the goal right now is to see how many whistles we can get in the final 2 minutes of play. Don't know if they're going to set a record, but they are working hard at it, I can tell you that. Here's Patel, far boards. Little scrum there. Not a scrum, but a battle for the puck, I should say. White jersey trying to keep it inside the zone, but it's knocked out. Dabbs will get it, and Dabbs tries to flip it along those far boards, but sort of fanned on it. Patel tried to carry it in, knocked off her stick at the last moment before she headed over the blue line. And now thrown to the near boards. That two-player battle for it, and Weinstock gets there first, shovels it ahead to Elodie Butler. Butler dumps it down low where Dabbs will pick it up for the Revolution. And gets that puck forward to Rayfield. And Rayfield shovels it ahead. And there's the horn. So we got through without another whistle to interrupt our play here. So we'll head to the third period. Score being 5-2 in favor of the Warhawks. So we'll update the period here. Move us over to the third. The girls 10U division is already playing its regular season games. Throughout the rest of the league, teams have been assigned to competitive divisions for the regular season. Team managers are all working to create their team's game schedules. Each team is working to collect the points that will help them earn a place in the league's end-of-season NIHL Blackhawks tournament. Keep your eye on the NIHL.info website and the NIHL Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram pages for news about upcoming broadcasts of NIHL games. Tune in on the Stream Sports Midwest YouTube channel I believe our next game will be at DuPage Center Ice Friday night. I don't have all the particulars here, but I believe we will have a Friday night NIHL game of the week. We haven't had too many Friday night games this season, so looking forward to that. Won't have to travel as far, but again, we enjoy the opportunity to explore new arenas and then get down to new parts of the NIHL territory. Aaron and Mike were able to get out to South Bend last weekend at the Compton Family Ice Arena for a trio of games for the Irish Rovers. So that was pretty cool. We were there 2 years ago in South Bend at the Ice Box. This time we were at that nice ice rink in Notre Dame. And then today, get the opportunity to come down to Bloomington for a pair of games. First one in the Bloomington Ice Center, and then the second game for the Revolution here in the Grossinger Motors Arena. Very nice arena. This is pretty cool. Looks like with the Redbird logo at center that the Illinois State Redbirds have a hockey team. That's great deduction on my part. You can tell I'm a sleuth. But yeah, this is a pretty neat arena, and like I said, it's got to be a blast for the players to play arena hockey and something. They look up and see these stands, even though they're not filled. They can see family members in the crowd, and everyone was excited to hop off the bench and get on that ice. They took pictures on the bench with the seats behind them, so pretty cool experience for these 10U players here in NIHL 10U action in the girls division. 5-2 is the score as we are in the third period now. Puck along the far boards. Revolution now going right to left, and the Warhawks left to right. And that puck dumped back in. Josephine Hammer will have to play it at that far corner. Hammer gets around Weinstock. Hammer tries to center it forward. Then it's at the skates of Ren Butler, and she dumps it in. And then a couple changes for the Revolution. As coming in at the far point there is Morgan Nave. Nave tries to keep it in, but it escapes the center ice. Couple players collide, and we got a breakaway. It's Patel in all alone. Patel shoots. Big save made. Tomaszewicz. Couple white jerseys collided at center ice and allowed Patel to go in all alone. Here's Patel again. I think that was Patel. There's 77 out there too, but I'm pretty sure that was Sydney Patel. Either way, Tomaszewicz said, "You're denied." And that'll keep the Revolution within 3 goals here as they keep that puck in. Here is O'Grady. Grady took it outside the zone, kind of wasn't aware of where she was on the ice. Circled around and brought the puck outside the zone to come back in, but that was obviously an offsides as there were white jerseys still inside the zone when she did that. So face off along the far boards. It'll be Clark going against Reva Taylor. Clark wins the draw for the Revolution, but then it's intercepted by Layla Walton. And then the puck forwarded ahead by Kylie McKay, one of the goal scorers here for the Revolution. McKay and Hammer getting the 2 goals for Central Illinois. Puck at center ice. And it's thrown back. Backhanded towards the circle. Davis, Grace Davis dumps it down low. Centering attempt. Oh, right there. Turnaround attempt. Oh, it just slips by the net. Brueggemann put it towards the net, and it was deflected just wide. Now here's McKay. Center ice. McKay shovels it ahead. There's Clark. Clark and McKay along the far boards, but they're doubled up over there. They need some space. And the Warhawks dig it out. Going across the ice to pick that one up was Nave. And we're going to get an icing? Yes, we get an icing against the Revolution with 8:22 to go here in the third period. 5-2 lead for the Warhawks. Revolution have scored the last 2 goals, however, but obviously they need to put together a little bit of a flurry here to even things up. And the faceoff will be inside their own zone to the right of Blake Tomaszewicz. I want to thank Amy and Doug Kent, the managers for the Central Illinois Revolution team, for our setup today for Game 1 in the Bloomington Ice Center. And then Game 2 here in the Grossinger Motors Arena. Taking care of all the particulars. We had Ethernet for the first game, which is always encouraged for you managers who want to get your games broadcast on the NIHL Game of the Week. If your rink has Ethernet access, that's preferred because then we can get you the highest quality signal broadcast for your stream. And Game 2 here, we don't have Ethernet access, but we're on the hotspot. And we'll usually bring the hotspot and use that if the rink Wi-Fi isn't as good as the hotspot signal, and that's the case here. They have decent Wi-Fi here at the Grossinger Motors Arena, but the hotspot just a tad better signal, so we're on that for Game 2, and it seems to be working out okay. All right, enough with the technical jargon. You didn't come here for an IT call. Here is Butler. Butler shoveling it inside the zone, misses connection with Patel. And then backtracking in front of her own net was Piper Jackson. Oh, nice keep. Oh, no, they're going to say Podemski wasn't able to get it before it crossed the blue line. So that'll be an offsides call against the Warhawks. We'll have the face-off here along the near boards, right in our living room. I'm sitting about 10 rows up here in the arena. Good setup here right near center ice, so get you a good quality view above the glass. Here's Dabbs carrying that puck. Dabbs, a couple occasions here where Jovi Dabbs has carried the mail along the boards and generated some offense for the Revolution. That time a backhand attempt goes towards the net, never goes on to Isabella Joyce. Then there's a backhander, but intercepted, that one by Piper Kent, intercepted by the Warhawks and brought out the center. Rayfield tries to get a stick on it, but unable to. And now here comes Reva Taylor. Taylor has it, and it goes on Tomaszewicz, unable to hold on to it. There's a fire drill out in front of Tomaszewicz to the right circle. But then eventually getting the puck was Piper Kent and gets it out to center. Brought back inside the zone. Shot, save, Tomaszewicz from Weinstock's shot. Weinstock goes after it, but then it goes over to the near boards. Here's Dabbs again, rolls off the stick, and then throw. Oh, that one gets by. Reva Taylor just threw it towards the net, and Tomaszewicz was trying to get a beat on it, but it rolled by the pad into the net. 6-2 lead for the Warhawks. Little bit of a late push there by the Warhawks, and they're able to get their 6th goal and get a 4-goal lead now on the Revolution. Tough goal there for Tomaszewicz, but we play on. Here's Josephine Hammer, who has one of the 2 goals for Central Illinois. He's going to skate, getting harassed there by Reva Taylor, who just scored that goal. And then Hammer eventually shovels it inside the zone, but in ahead of the play was Viola Krieger, so that'll be an offsides against the Revolution With 5:44 to go here in the third period, 6-2 is the score in favor of the North Shore Warhawks. Face off along the far boards. Lodi Butler going against Everett Clark inside the Warhawk zone temporarily and then thrown out the center. Dumped back in. Going after it will be Grace Davis and Shoemaker. Shoemaker will get it and throw it to Davis in the far corner. It's going to be kept in, however, by Hammer at the far point. Thrown on net. Save made. Joyce. That one kind of snuck up on her, and she was able to make the stop. Now Hammer tees one up. Doesn't get through. I think that one was stopped there by Elodie Butler. Hammer pinching in to keep it in at that far point. Throws it down low, where Kylie McKay, the other goal scorer for the Revolution, digs it out, tries to center. And it's too far outside the zone, and now the Revolution will have to backtrack with Shoemaker in hot pursuit. Hammer flips it off the near boards, and then Hammer carries it out. Josephine Hammer cuts to the inside, flips it towards the net, but it's wide right. And now thrown behind the net, where Grace Davis will shovel it to the near side. Schumacher is the recipient. Or Shoemaker, Greta Shoemaker, not Mocker. Shoemaker taken down. That's an easy call as Hammer took the skates out from underneath. Number 92 in green, Greta Shoemaker. And so Hammer will go to the penalty box with 4:24 to go in the third period. It's a power play opportunity for the Warhawks. 2 minutes for tripping. Minute 30 for tripping, I should say. Minute 30 penalties. It's Elodie Butler versus Molly Hart on the draw. Hart won the draw. And then O'Grady tries to clear along the far boards, but pinching in was Podemski. Now Shoemaker going after it in the near corner for the Warhawks, throws it behind the net, and skates after it again. Two green jerseys there. Shoemaker continues to press on. Then it's dug out. Thrown but through the crease. And over to the near boards. Weinstock keeps it in. Throws it between the circles. Patel chasing after it. And Podemski drops it down low. O'Grady tries to flip it out. That's kept in, however, by Podemski. Thrown over to the near boards. 42 seconds on the power play. And eventually thrown towards the net. Oh, that one steered aside last minute by Thomas Shevitz. That was thrown towards the net by Weinstock, and then the puck eventually does come outside the zone. And Shoemaker tried to sweep it inside the zone, but in ahead of the play was Elodie Butler. So we have an offsides call against the Warhawks with 3:11 to go in the third period, 17 seconds remaining on the Warhawks power play. Face-off will be Reva Taylor against Dabbs, Jovi Dabbs. Taylor wins the draw and dumps it inside the zone. Piper Kent gets there first for the Revolution. Tries to carry it out. Had the puck taken off her stick. Centering attempt. Oh, that one almost on the stick of Layla Walton, but then it was swept away at the last moment. Now Weinstock battling three white jerseys. Gets it over to Walton. Walton carries the mail from the near circle. Walton comes in all alone and hits the side of the net just near that right post. Weinstock backhand attempt. That's deflected outside the zone by Dabbs. And then Rayfield battling to try and move it forward. Backhands it. Penalty is over. Both teams back at full strength with 2:25 remaining here in the period. The final period. 6-2 lead for the Warhawks. There's Dabbs. Then Kent. Kent once more backhands it outside the zone. And that's pushed forward by Ren Butler. Here's Elise Weinstock. Weinstock going to carry it over the blue line. Has a lot of open space in front of her, tried to pass it, just getting into the zone. Usually you want to wait till you're in the zone before you make that pass. So it was kind of borderline there, and puck wound up being brought back in off sides. Face off along the far boards. Once again, Clark for the Revolution and Butler for the Warhawks. Clark wins the draw for the Revolution. And that one's dumped forward by Kylie McKay. It's going to be tracked down by Podemski. Clark gets it. And then taken away by Elodie Butler. Butler throws it up along the far boards. Will chase after it. O'Grady's in pursuit. O'Grady tries to hack at it. Butler's able to dump it down low into the far corner. Thrown out. Podemski's going to keep it in. Near point. Slides it towards the net. That hit the skate. Shot. Save made by Tomaszewicz. Puck is loose. And it rolls into the glove. Cradled against the side there by Tomaszewicz. As the Warhawks had a chance to add to their lead, but Tomaszewicz was able to hold on and make the save. Minute 4 remaining, 6-2 lead for the Warhawks. Face off to the left of Blake Tomaszewicz. Elodie Butler squaring up there with Molly Hart. Hart gets possession, throws it forward, but Patel picks up the loose change. And now O'Grady looks to clear and does. That might go down for icing, however. I think it will. All the way down for icing. With 49.2 seconds, 47.6. They were a little delayed on that clock there. Not that the Revolution was going to net 4 goals here in 50 seconds, but, every second counts. Face-off possessed by the Warhawks. That was Taylor who tried to throw it towards the net, never got on it. This time it does. Oh, it goes just wide of that near post. Tomaszewicz got a piece of it, and then it sailed just wide of the near post. We're going to have another icing call, I believe. And that one goes down for icing indeed with 28 seconds remaining. Another face-off to the left of Blake Tomaszewicz. (6-2) Warhawks. And puck comes out to the neutral zone. Weinstock's there to gather it. And then Dabbs pulls it away, trying for a late goal here for the Revolution. Flips it on net, and what a save made. Oh, no, it went in. Dabbs got it through. I thought Joyce had made the save, but Dabbs actually got it through. Joyce, not sure how. Just kind of might have muffed on catching that one. And Dabbs, being rewarded for all the individual effort, gets a late goal with 12 seconds remaining to make it a 6-3 game. Now that puck thrown down the ice. That's deflected at center ice, so no icing there. And that'll pretty much wind down the clock here. Oh, centering attempt. Cleared over. And the horn sounds. Final score, Warhawks 6, Revolution 3. But the Revolution, who had only scored 6 goals on the season so far through 9 games, score through 10 games actually, score 3 goals here, and they're happy about their late goal outburst here. Warhawks win the game, but the Revolution kind of feeling good about coming out of this second game of the doubleheader with some offense and getting 3 goals on the day. So that's a good accomplishment for Central Illinois. As I'll update that score there, give them credit for that third goal. But a fun game for both of these teams. Again, getting the opportunity to play on the arena ice is pretty cool. Well, that'll do it here from the Grossinger Motors Arena here in Bloomington, Illinois. Again, our thanks to Amy and Doug Kent for hosting us here in Bloomington. I enjoyed my stay here. It's also good to come back and visit the normal Bloomington area, as I did go to Illinois State for a few semesters, so love this area and appreciate the opportunity to come down here and explore another couple rinks for NIHL for our Game of the Week travels. This is Eric Willowite saying so long from Bloomington. Again, final score, Warhawks 6 and the Revolution 3. We'll see you Friday night from Center Ice at DuPage. Follow the information on the NIHL.info website.